My name is David Berthium, and this is what the Lord has done for me, working at Remnant Publications for over 20 years. And I've seen a lot of incredible things that the Lord has been doing, different projects that we've been involved with over the years. But the coolest things that we've done are the things that we didn't start. It's stuff that just kind of dropped into our laps when you can see that it's not something that we're trying to do, we're trying to work out as human beings. It's something that the Lord is doing in your lives. And one of the first things that I was involved with was the Passion of Love book. It was 18 years ago, and it was when Mel Gibson's movie came out. We had several people that said, well, I've just felt really inspired that we need to put together the last chapters of The Desire of Ages and make it into a book that kind of, with a cover that kind of goes along with the Mel Gibson movie. So this was the first time that we came out with something that would become a large part of our ministry, is the sharing book. So this was the last 13 chapters of The Desire of Ages, and we put it into a thing and we printed a large quantity. So because we printed such a large quantity, we were able to get the prices down very cheap per book. So people were able to buy them by case loads, by pallet loads, and they were sharing them all over the country. And the cool part about this story, we had been for years trying to get the conflict set, our paperback set, into Walmart stores. And our president, Dwight, he had some experience working with some of the corporate world, and he was trying to get a meeting with them, and it just never worked out. So one day, I remember we were at Remnant, and the phones rang. They didn't ring too often back then, but a lady called, and she said, hi, my name is Jane Love, and I'm the buyer for Christian books at Walmart, and I'd like to talk to somebody about this book, The Passion of Love. So we got the call to Dwight, and she explained to him that a friend of hers that she was rooming with had got this book outside the Walmart store. There was a church that had bought a pallet of books, and they were handing the books out outside the Walmart in Arkansas, right by the headquarters. And she got a copy of the book, and she loved it. So she shared it with Jane. Jane read the book, and she loved it. So here's, after all these years of us trying to do what we can to get the books into Walmart, here's Jane Love, the Christian book buyer for Walmart, calling on the phone, and she wants to buy this book to put it in the Walmart stores. And then that kind of, like I said, that was kind of the springboard that really, it really showed us a direction that God wanted us to go. So we've done over the years many different projects that have included very inexpensive books that allow people to share with current events. You know, when the Noah movie came out, we had the Noah movie. When the Exodus movie came out, we had Patriarchs and Prophets in the sharing book, and we've done that over the years. And just to see what God's, you know, a lot of times we have our own ideas of what we think should happen, what we think is going to be a great idea for the Lord. But when we humble ourselves, we allow the Lord to lead and guide, He does some incredible things. Just to share one more quick story, the Remnant Study Bible, it's another product that has been around for a little bit. This was not our idea either. We were approached by Thomas Nelson about 15 years ago. And at the time, they were going around to different Christian ministries, T.D. Jakes, Joyce Meyer, and they were creating study Bibles with their commentary from the different ministry heads. And they came to us and said, we know that Ellen White is a major person in the Adventist church, and we're wondering if you guys want to work together with us to put together a study Bible with her comments. And we said, well, let us think about it. Obviously, we didn't have to think too long and hard, but it was an awesome project. Working with them, putting together every study tool in there that you ever dreamed that you would like. And we get the question sometimes, hey, did they let you move the comma? You know, where it says, today you'll be with me in paradise, to the criminal on the cross, and they would not let us change the comma. So we had to leave it as it is. But there's wonderful quotes where we were able to put the Ellen White quotes in there that explains the verse and everything. So it's very cool. But again, it's kind of why I like being at places like this. We're at GYC. And sometimes you get so caught up in your own ministry. You get what you're doing every day. You have this passion to do what we're doing. We're doing the books. But you come together in a place like this or at ASI, where it's a room full of different ministries. Everybody with their own passion. Everybody with a burden that the Lord's put on their heart to share, to encourage, to hasten the Lord's coming. And it kind of breaks you out of your own focus. You know, I'm so focused on this all day, every day. And then you come together and you see how many people are here trying to do what they can to share God, to hasten His coming. It's inspiring, and it makes you just want to get up tomorrow and do even better. And I can't wait to have a big GYC, big ASI in heaven, and we'll all be together, and we'll get to share what we did, not what we're doing, but what we did to hasten the Lord's coming. I can't wait.